Omega level, Omega
level.
No other being has ever had the might, nay the nobility.
Hey, how's it going? It's your boy Jersh Manhunter. Make sure you check out our social medias, Instagram, Omega_level_podcast, and at Facebook, Omega Level Podcast. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can find us at Omega Level Podcast. Man, that's a lot of podcasts, but here we go. Anchor, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, sure, that's a thing, and all of the other ones. Thanks for listening. You look cute today.
Welcome back to Omega Level. That's how we're starting it with old Jersh complimenting me. I'm going to take that all day.
Hey, man, looking good.
Taking it,
Rock
run with
it. Own it. Wear it.
Rocket, son.
Yeah.
Rocket, son.
Rocket.
That's Raccoon's new kid.
Yep, it's coming in issue 8 of Guardians of the Galaxy if you haven't read it yet.
Big spoilers.
We haven't even read it yet. Woo!
Nope. Yeah, the way the
I'll
last...
be reading it soon. It dropped like next week or last week.
Yeah,
so.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The way the last one ended was pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
D23 just happened. Disney's Expo. And it brought with it, I think, 1 or 2 interesting tidbits of news. Not much. Definitely not enough that we're about to do, like, an entire episode talking about that stuff.
Yeah, no, D23 really let me down, man. I'm like, Disney, why do you try to keep making me happy?
No,
I'm
it's
confused.
like-
You're like, stop, dude.
Stop announcing things that no one cares about.
Stop. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like,
You're
we
garbage.
We don't care about the streaming service. We don't care about Marvel TV
Oh,
shows.
Disney Plus, affordable price for so many movies and TV shows. Get out of here.
Ooh, an affordable price.
You're a
for all this
monopoly.
content?
You're garbage. Fuck you, Disney, for making me happy.
Yeah, dude. And so many other people, as evident by all the money they made on their movies this year.
Oh, no, but they're controlling too much, man.
Yeah, they're terrible. They just make vapid, awful projects.
Yeah, dude, God forbid this company tries to make money. I hate it.
I do too.
Companies shouldn't try to be more than what they are. You know what I mean?
Companies should not
Stay
try to make
small.
money.
Yeah.
That should not be
You're
their
already
first
a
interest.
billion-dollar company. Yeah, you should stay there.
Yeah, every movie should be free now.
Yeah, I
What
agree.
is wrong with
Dude,
you?
Thank you.
Come on,
Thank
man.
you.
They should
All right,
become a
pirating
charity.
is now. We're getting back, baby. We're pirating Disney movies. You heard it here.
We're getting back, baby. Pirating's starting again.
Woo!
We're going to watch every Disney movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine style.
Dude.
With no special effects.
Oh, man, I love it. Man, that plane over that white plane over that white ocean looks great.
Is that what it was in the
Yeah,
movie?
it was bad. There was just no rendering. It was awful. Deadpool falling was funny. You know, it's like one of those training dummy videos.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's amazing. That actually improves that fight.
I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, in a weird way, it did. Yes.
It's like, oh, it's not really Deadpool.
Like, cool, I don't have to look at this dude. Thank you.
Oh, man, that movie was so fucking good. That's the best movie Fox has ever made.
I'm trying to think if anything really could top that movie.
And there's nothing. In the
The-
history of the pantheon of Fox films, nothing touches it.
You have a point. Like, seriously, the way they captured every character. I think Wolverine was the worst one in the
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
Like,
for
I
sure.
felt Hugh Jackson is a big miscast.
Mhm.
He doesn't really fit the word, Wolverine. Like, when you
I
say
agree.
Wolverine, he's not synonymous with that, like a Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And, it's nobody's Tony, because he is God. He is the one that we worship. He's,
Oh, my God, we're on the Marvel Studios
yeah,
subreddit
welcome
now.
to the Marvel Studios subreddit.
Yeah, Deadpool's the best part of that movie for sure, though. They fucking nailed him. It's the best rendition. Like, the 2 Deadpool movies are trash in comparison.
I agree. I mean, like, who does Ryan Reynolds think he is? He doesn't even know the character.
He's certainly
He
not
has-
Wade Wilson.
Yep, he has it. Thank you. He has a terrible attempt at his jokes. His humor's not funny. Like Deadpool never cusses, man.
No.
He never breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's
Like-
with all that shit?
Like none of this. Like what is that? He doesn't have regenerative powers.
Nope.
He doesn't ever be a part of team ups. Like that's not a thing that Deadpool's ever done in the history of comics ever. And this is facts. Like whatever
Yeah,
we
it's
say
straight facts.
is 100% facts.
Yeah,
like
it's not
that's
an
just who-
opinion.
yeah, not an opinion.
Fact.
God. man.
He's literally the Deadpool. He's a combination of a bunch of different mutants.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what he's supposed to
Like
be.
he's a pool of dead. Like that's it makes so much. I don't know. It's in his name. I feel like all of this should be pretty obvious for people.
As bad as that movie was, I'm shocked they didn't actually call him the Pool of Dead now.
God,
He's the Pool of Dead. All right, I'm walking
All
out.
right, Origins, you fucked up.
I'd have left the fucking theater.
Just so we're clear, if none of you picked up on that sarcasm,
Yeah, this is that was dripping.
shame on you. Shame
Dripping
on you.
with sarcasm.
Shame on you.
So D23 had a fucking shitload of information come out. It was almost information overload.
Literally a
Let
load of
me
shit.
Silence this when people keep texting me that I don't like.
Hey Nick, when we're doing the podcast, we like to do a few things beforehand. Like you've seen movies, right? When they warn us about turning off your phone.
Oh, I'm
disrupting
always
the-
late, so I never see those.
That's a good point. All right,
I'm the
never
guy that
mind.
walks
and you
in
were late
20
to the
minutes,
podcast.
20 minutes into the movie.
I show up to your house and you were late to the podcast. How is that even possible?
Somehow I came to your house and you were fucking late.
I mean, what's going on? Jeez.
So yeah, D23, they had a bunch of information. And let's start off with the Marvel news. They announced
Why?
They announced a slew of new content. They finally gave a release date and an official announcement for Black Panther 2. It's coming in May of 2022, which
Way too far away.
That sucks. Yeah,
Way too far away.
Fucking 2.5 years
It
away.
just worries me because I know Chadwick is doing a bunch of other stuff. He's starting, I don't remember the name, the Netflix samurai for about the first African American.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is doing that. Yeah.
Or African black samurai.
Yeah.
Basically, also inspired Afro Samurai, which is cool.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
That's cool.
But it worries me, like what you said before, is how you see Chadwick on the red carpets on Marvel events where he doesn't look that interested. I hope this isn't I don't want to do that much anymore.
Me
and
too.
I'm starting to wean myself off of that and get out of the Marvel hype, which sucks because he did such a great T'Challa, and he seems like, on screen he's having a great time, but it could also be he's such a good performer that he makes us think that, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, it does seem like I've always I've seen other people say this before too, but I've always kind of felt like when I see him do interviews and press and stuff, he doesn't seem into it like a lot of the other people are.
Yeah.
To do Marvel, and it just seems like he's already kind of over it.
I hope
was like, man, I hope not, because Black Panther is such a crucial piece of Marvel and of the Avengers period, and he should be one of the faces leading the charge moving forward. Because
technically we've seen him in 4 films now, or it'll be 3. 4 would be his Black Panther 2, right? We had Black Panther, Civil War, 4. No, Endgame and Endgame. I mean, if you count Endgame,
he's in the end of it. But yeah,
he's in the end of it.
He's in it.
Gives a nice little, boom, Wakanda's back, baby.
Yeah,
but I don't count that. So he's at 3 films right now.
Essentially
3 films. Great in Civil War, obviously. Black Panther, amazing. And in Endgame.
My biggest problem with Black Panther was there just wasn't enough white people in a movie that was based around a culture in Africa. I just don't understand.
I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I feel like that was historically inaccurate. Get out of here, Nick. You're crazy.
We on them today, boys.
We on. Man, it's fire. This booth is on fire.
Far.
And we need water.
Yeah.
No, seriously, send help, please.
No, seriously, we're on fire.
We are on fire.
So, yeah, they released the release date for it, and they just called it Black Panther 2. I do not believe for a second that's the fucking actual title.
That is the standing title. 100%. Welcome to Black Panther 2.
I really hope the title is something like Black Panther Battle of Kings, because it's T'Challa versus fucking Namor.
That little hint in Endgame, yes.
Woo, that'd be amazing. Got the earthquakes under the ocean right now, boys.
What's going on with the tectonic plates?
I read this person's long-ass theory on how it could be Namor and the 3 points that have already set up for him in the MCU. One of them is the earthquake. I don't remember what the other one was. But another one was that Doctor Strange is curiously absent the entire final battle in Endgame because he's dealing with that water breaking through, and we don't really see him deal with it much. What if that's because they're going to slip in Namor or a sea monster in there and then show us that scene again of Strange battling to keep that thing at bay?
Why would Namor be involved with that, you think?
Namor hates humans. He hates land life.
Yeah.
So he might have seen Thanos attacking and felt like it was his chance to also join in and help.
See, I think that's a little far out there. I mean, it's not crazy.
True.
But that's a little.
But it's like, oh shit.
To pull that as a point, I don't know. I never took that. I just assumed the water was,
Yeah. Oh, the other point was that they, for some reason, Captain America randomly says to Nat that or maybe she says to him, I think he says to her, that they saw whales in one of the oceans again. What if that's Namor sending them to spy on humanity after the blip?
I mean, maybe, but it's also life returning.
True. It's a very the very small subtle things that could lead in.
The earthquakes one under the water is definitely
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other
Clearly
ones
a
are
hint at what's to come.
The others are kind of reaches, but at the same time, I see how this person is correlating.
Yeah, and I can see how you would be fooled into thinking that that's real. So,
moreover, I just want Namor in the MCU because
he's
the perfect gateway to the mutants, because he's the quote unquote first mutant, as in the first mutant the first person they called a mutant in Marvel.
Yeah.
The first actual mutant is Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But Namor's the first one we ever saw back in the 40s or some shit like that. So it'd be really cool to see Namor, and he is a quasi-villain. He has a lot of villainous times, but also those times where he helps the mutants and humans and stuff, but it's not often. More so, he only cares about Atlantis and taking care of them. And there's precedent for him to fight Black Panther because they have battled in the comics before. So, yeah, that would be really fucking cool to have Namor in the Black Panther sequel.
Hey, man, as long as I get to see that underwater breathing son of a bitch with his little wings on his feet, I'm down. Let's go.
Wearing nothing but a Speedo.
Got nothing but a Speedo and some wings on his feet. Let's go.
Let's get a Namor. And then, did they announce any other actual Marvel movies? I think that was the only one they talked about.
Couple more casting for Eternals, stuff like that.
Well,
Big reveal,
I was
Kit
being
Harington.
I was just being sarcastic.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, so they talked a little more extensively about Eternals, which we already know about, and has like a fucking phenomenal cast. But then they unveiled that fucking Kit Harington, almost called him John Harrington. Jon Snow is joining Eternals as Black Knight.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking deal.
That's awesome.
That's fucking badass.
That's a big cast.
And from what I've heard, Kevin Feige and like the people over at Marvel Studios believe that Black Knight could anchor a solo film and possibly a trilogy. That it
That's
would like
nuts.
bring in interest and money. Dude, I'm all about it.
But to be already saying that, and we haven't even seen a glimpse of this dude.
I think they
come out
just
with that
really
confidence.
believe in
Feige's just like Marvel, baby, MCU.
Oh yeah, they just believe in Kit Harington. They're like, he can fucking do it.
He can do it.
Black Knight trilogy.
It's just gonna be some Jon Snow again. We all know it is.
Yeah, it's not
Except
like
he's
that's
gonna be wearing a
bad.
mask. I mean,
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not
you know?
bad.
I
No,
want
it's
to see Boy Range. I
it's
wanna
Kit
see some
Harington.
range.
He ain't wearing a mask too much.
He-
We got to see that boy face.
He's not Robert Downey Jr. He's nice. He'll do ourselves a Bruce Banner, some love, CGI's face. Let's go.
Oh yeah, probably.
I like most of the designs of the people. They look good.
For Eternals,
They
you
look
see those?
very.
Yeah,
I love that they're drawing back the curtain on the cosmic powers. Like here we go. This is the world ready to see cosmic powers? Like true, because we've seen glimpses.
I hope so.
Infinity Gauntlet itself could be considered that of a cosmic power.
It is.
So it's caught like. But now it's getting into it. Now we're getting into that weird shit. We're getting comic-y, and I love it.
we getting comic-y. I mean, it had to happen at some point if these movies are going to continue. They don't have an option but to just start leaning heavier into them actually being really comic booky.
Absolutely.
Because when you get into anything that's not based on Earth, it is full-on comic logic.
Yes, of course. How it traveled. I mean, the time heist itself, while not a fan, that is like, so like.
You kill me.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah.
I have my faults with it.
You never liked the time heist, Josh. You ruined the time heist.
What can I say? I hate the time heist.
Yeah, I love that they're delving into that. And there's also a Celestial's face they showed that looked curiously similar to Nowhere.
But it got blown up.
Exactly. So we're going to see how that happens?
Thanos.
No. Because this is based way before anything we've seen. So it's the
You
actual
mean the
Celestial's
actual
head
Celestial? Oh,
that became
when
Nowhere.
it became Nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
right.
like, oh
This is
shit.
before.
Are we
You're
going
right.
to see that?
Oh, I'm excited.
That'd be fucking
I'm
dope,
excited.
dude.
I'm excited.
I mean, I'm super hype about Eternals, largely because they finally have convinced Angelina Jolie to join the MCU. I've been waiting for her to join the MCU since it literally formed, like pretty much since the Avengers. when it was
She's not really
apparent
been
that-
doing much. I mean, Maleficent.
Well, yeah, she's been like raising kids and directing some movies. Only like I
of
think
course, I know,
3 or
yeah,
4,
personal.
but she hasn't really been acting much.
Nope.
Yeah, so it's really big to see her taking an acting role in the MCU. I honestly thought if they were ever going to get her, it would be as a director. I figured she would come and direct one of their movies, but the fact that she's acting in it is fucking awesome.
And directs Captain Marvel too. I'm in
No, I'm fucking about it.
I'm
Let's
with it.
go.
it. With it.
Happy about that. And then they announced a little more information for Black Widow. Or not information, like they just talked about it a little more.
ScarJo looking good in it too. I like
Dude,
it.
the new costume looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, hair
love
back.
it.
I like that too.
Mhm. And then they showed like the white costume, which is really fucking cool.
I didn't get a glimpse of it yet.
I love that Florence Pugh is in that movie.
Oh,
I'm
of course.
so
After
becoming
Midsummer,
such a fan, dude.
Like, I love it. No, I'm for sure.
After Midsummer, and then I saw Fighting with My Family, and she's apparently she's amazing. Also in Lady Macbeth, I need to see that.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, fucking. I'm all about some Florence Pugh. I
yeah.
cannot wait. And she's like also a Black Widow, like a Red Room
Yeah,
trainee.
there's gonna be some sort of bout between her and Scarlet. Dude. Like I'm all about it.
Oh, I can't fucking wait.
No.
Oh, they did say something about like some footage they showed of it where you see Black Widow doing like her pose, right? So we've seen a bunch of times throughout the movies Black Widow do that little like when she's starting to stand up and so like her leg out pose thing, you know?
Yeah, they did that in the Avengers game too.
Yeah. Apparently, there is a point in the movie where Yelena asks her, she's like, why do you always do that? And she goes, do what? She goes, do your Black Widow pose. She goes, I don't do that. And the very next scene was her like in a battle and then her doing it in the movie. Like, it's kind of funny. They actually address it and she is pointing it out like, why do you always
Why do you do
this?
that? It's so weird. What do you do?
I'm excited to see their banter and to see their fight scene because
absolutely.
Florence is already hyping that fight scene up.
Let's calm down, Florence. Okay?
Very curious.
Let's calm down.
So then, other than those movies, they didn't have like too much information about like movies. Those are the kind of thing like bigger deals they talked about. The main thing for Marvel at D23 was the new TV shows that they were announcing. There are 3 new Disney Plus shows coming in Moon Knight, which Josh
so
could not
hyped.
be,
Oh
he cannot
my
be less
gosh.
happy about.
Oh man,
He doesn't care.
beyond excited.
And then She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. So let's talk a little more about these TV shows. Start off with the one I think I can confidently say that we are both the most excited for, which is Moon Knight.
That one is your most excited?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if they touch on anything at all from the 2018 comic book arc where he's...
You mean the 2016 one?
I want to see. I thought it was
the one
18,
where it
maybe
started
it's 16, where he's in the
white
insane
guy-
asylum.
Yes, that's the 16
Yeah,
one.
dude.
Yes,
If
that's
they
what I'm
touch
saying.
on
They
that,
follow
oh my god.
And I watched it. I started reading that right after watching Shutter Island for the first time.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, such that whole like mind fuck. Like you think you're watching something, you're reading something, and then at the end it's like boom, that's not what you thought it was it? And then the whole thing. Oh man,
Sucked. I believe that series got canceled, but I could be wrong, and it was a maxine that finished its run at 12
I only
issues.
read 7 issues. So
Yeah,
I went to 12. I didn't finish.
I
that.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But if they follow that, that'd be cool. So for people that aren't very well informed on Moon Knight,
Good old Spectre.
Moon Knight, a.k.a. the Fist of Khonshu, as he's called. I believe it's pronounced Khonshu. Mark Spector is the character of Moon Knight. That's his like human name. So to explain a little bit about him, Mark Spector is left for dead by Bushmen, who would become his arch enemy. This happens in one of the first, I believe it's the first series that he ever got. He had made appearances previously, but when he got his first run, this is like what happened in it. He's out in Egypt doing some job, and he's left for dead by Bushmen and betrayed by him. Bushmen would later on become his arch rival. Egyptians rescued Mark Spector and brought him to a temple. They put him in front of the statue of Khonshu. While in front of that statue, his heart stopped and he died. And then Khonshu appeared to him in the afterlife and offered him a second chance at life if he became Khonshu's avatar. Which he does, and then becomes fucking Moon Knight. He's had many aliases in his life. He's also extremely rich. He is essentially Marvel's Batman.
I know. That's my biggest worry. Is I hope they don't make it to that
Too
where it feels
Batman-y?
like Batman. While
Yeah.
he does like detective stuff, he's not a detective like Batman, and he's like not try to be sneaky. He's I wear white so they see me coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
that's
that-
that's
oh
a
my
fucking
God, that's
lie.
like
Like they
the
see
best
me
thing.
coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
And he has the his bolas and all that stuff. His weapons are made of vibranium.
Yeah.
So it's like he's stacked.
He's
Or it might have been adamantium.
Adamantium. It's one of the two. It's some
I want
super
to say it's
powerful
that
thing.
one. I don't think it was vibranium.
Is it okay? Yeah, the dude is fucking incredibly powerful. Well, incredibly strong. He's extremely intelligent.
Yes.
And like
Little psychotic.
he's like Marvel's answer to Batman. It's not like he's a carbon copy of Batman.
Yeah,
So it's like
no,
we can
no.
do that too. But he's the same. Like he's this extremely smart, tech-driven guy that's very well versed in like tons of martial arts.
The
and
voice
he's got
of
a
a
lot of
god
money.
in his head.
Yeah,
Of
he's
an
got-
Egyptian god in his head.
and he's also, I forgot to mention, probably the most important aspect of Mark Spector is he's a schizophrenic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's literally crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that, and for
I
that,
want to know if they're going to do the thing where his powers are affected by the moon itself, like crescent moon, full moon, half moon.
I would
It
assume
does
they
give
would.
him- okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they actually play a bigger role in that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm fine for normal people doing badass things, but to me it makes more sense for them to have some sort of power to be able to contend with anything in here. Like, cool Hawkeye, cool Black Widow, but pump the brakes.
MCU Black Widow, because comics Black Widow does have powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has for people don't know, I think we've mentioned this before, she has a knockoff
have.
Russian version of the super soldier serum in her. But Hawkeye fucking doesn't.
Nope.
He just shoots some arrows.
But he's still ridiculously strong. Given
Yeah,
his,
dude.
he's an
Unreal.
amazing archer, like, without question, the best in Marvel universe. Like,
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, in the death battle, he was like 20 times
Time
better than Green Arrow.
I loved it.
Wasn't
Like, it
even
wasn't
close.
even close. Speed, strength, fucking God, everything.
So I was thinking about casting for Moon Knight, and I'm pretty sure everyone I'm about to list is way out of the like pay zone that they're going to be willing to go to.
What?
So the first person I thought of, and it would never happen, is Shia LaBeouf. It would never happen because he's very fucking problematic.
Yeah.
He causes a lot of issues on set.
Yeah.
So like it would never
And then he'd
happen.
probably start method acting as psychotic person.
Exactly. He
That's
becomes
not a good-
schizophrenic.
that's not a good person.
I'm not the biggest Shia fan, but I do think he's an extremely talented actor. He just doesn't utilize it.
He could do Mark Spector. Yeah.
Also, really like one that you'll probably love, Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
I think he'll be
Okay.
fucking awesome as Mark
That'd be
Spector,
dope.
dude.
That'd be dope.
I also like Daniel Radcliffe.
Hmm.
So
Hit or
Mark
miss on that.
Spector is supposed to be of Jewish origin, so all the actors that I'm recommending are Jewish.
Okay.
I also like Joseph Gordon-Levitt for it.
Also like Andy Samberg.
Ooh, shit. A more serious role? I think be down for
That'd
that.
be crazy.
Yeah. I also like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I like Ben Foster.
JGL. I don't know if he. I mean, I love him. I love JGL.
He's
but Mark
amazing.
Spector.
Bro, I can see it, dude. Have you seen the movie Kill Shot?
Yes. Okay.
He's pretty fucking nuts in that movie. I can see him doing it. And then Ben Foster. You know who he is, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wasn't
Ben
he
Foster's
already in
fucking
Marvel?
brilliant. No, I don't think Ben Foster's in Marvel yet.
No.
No, he should be because he's a fucking great actor. But He doesn't do a lot of like big productions, so he might be one of those kind of people that just stays away from that.
Okay.
He doesn't want to do it. But yeah, I don't know how possible any of those 5 people are. They're all pretty expensive.
I mean,
Of any of them, I think Andrew Garfield is the most likely
look
option.
who they're putting in. I mean, expensive people. Even
they just got Angelina Jolie.
I was going to say Angelina Jolie is still one of the most expensive actresses, and she doesn't even act that much anymore.
True.
Like she's.
But this is also a TV series, so it's harder to get people to commit.
Yeah.
And these are all movie people.
That's true.
Right?
That's
like
true.
Daniel Radcliffe probably would never fucking happen.
Well, Elizabeth Olsen was technically she's not a big name. She obviously is
True,
way more of a
true.
household
And
name
she's doing
now.
TV.
Exactly, she's doing TV.
Yeah, but she's continuing something she's already involved in.
Yeah, that's
she
true. She's
obviously
playing a character
enjoys.
that's going to be brought back to the big screen again.
Yeah.
And then potentially, hopefully,
Become the next villain.
become the next
Woo!
big villain because of House M. Let's get it, boy.
Oh my God.
Let's get it, boy.
So yeah, very excited about fucking Moon Knight moving forward. I really hope they touch on the.
I'm just glad they had it. They finally did it.
Oh, dude, same. I hope they touch on the Insane Asylum arc from that series because that was fucking dope.
So fresh.
Oh my God.
It's like, was it New York or was it not? You know, it's
Exactly,
like,
man.
Shit.
He's in an insane asylum, and they're all he's trying to be convinced that this is all in his head. He's just crazy.
I
Like,
think it was in
Khonshu
New York.
doesn't
It was that or
exist.
San Francisco. I think in New York though.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like, he's just trying to be convinced that Khonshu is not real, and he just imagined all of this. And then he finds out that that place is fucking tricking him, and it all is real.
It's fucking crazy.
But then he also doesn't know because he's schizophrenic. Like, it's a mind bend. It's amazing. And then we have She-Hulk, which is a show that I'm really excited about for the potential of it, because She-Hulk, number one, to explain a little about her, she's like
you got it.
She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters, who is Bruce Banner's cousin.
Oh.
So she gets her powers of being She-Hulk in the comics when she's severely injured, and Banner has to give her a blood transfusion of his own blood because they're matching donors and there's no one else around that can do it. And that turns her into She-Hulk.
But of course, because of his,
Exactly.
his issues.
Because of the gamma just flowing through his fucking bloodstream.
I don't know how he even thought that'd be like, this is going to save her.
Well, he knew it would save her, and he probably knew it would do this to her too, right? So she's a more mild version of Hulk. When she goes into her Hulk form, she retains her personality, her intelligence, and her emotional control. So she's like Professor Hulk, but all the time.
Yeah.
When she gets angry, she does become stronger and more powerful, but she's not Hulk levels of power.
Yeah.
She's very powerful and very strong, but she's not Hulk. Yeah, a way for that to be explained in the MCU of why she is able to maintain all that is because Hulk is now Professor Hulk. So that would turn her in a similar manner. Right? So I see how
would
that's
that
setting
affect
up. Because that Banner is like Professor Hulk now, to where when he's Hulk, he's Smart Hulk. So when he gives her a blood transfusion, he has already achieved that level of equalness.
Okay.
So it would give it the same thing to her, to where she doesn't just rage out as Hulk. So
do you think they're going to make that tie-in? That's going to be her origin?
that's her only origin in the comics, so I hope so.
Yeah.
Or at least the only one I'm aware
So
of.
I'm interested. So that means that we might see Mark
might see
Ruffalo
Mark
in
Ruffalo on the
She-Hulk for a
series.
little bit. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. As well, or this could be a way, his blood transfusion to her could be a way that they return him back to Classic Hulk. So if he gives her a blood transfusion
breaks the thing.
and it turns her into She-Hulk, it could imbalance what's in his body and break their link and turn him back into Banner and Hulk as separate entities.
I hope so.
Which is what I hope they do.
Yeah.
Because Professor Hulk is cool and all, but Classic Hulk's the best Hulk.
Yes.
That's what I
because
want.
Professor Hulk is pointless right now.
I mean, yeah, they don't have a need for it
They
anymore.
don't need him. Like,
Yeah.
you have Bruce Banner's brains, but he doesn't use the strength properly. He
Exactly.
doesn't have the drive that the Hulk fucking has.
Yep.
That's the problem with this guy. He doesn't have the anger that the Hulk has, and that's what makes the Hulk Hulk.
Well, the trick is
Jeez.
he's always angry.
That's the key, Cap. That's the secret, Cap.
So also,
I'm always high.
Also, yeah, I'm always high. Wait, what? What'd you say, Bucky? Nothing. Woo! Gotta get on that mind control serum.
Yes.
So She-Hulk Jennifer Walters is also really close friends with Captain Marvel Carol Danvers, which could lead to Brie Larson making appearances in the She-Hulk series.
Brie Larson in a TV. Now
Bro,
you're getting crazy, dude.
Not gonna lie.
After grossing that one bill.
If it becomes confirmed before it comes out that She-Hulk will feature Ruffalo and Brie Larson in it, it will be the one that I'm looking most forward to. To see both of them in
just
that.
like, oh my god.
Okay, well, I guess
She-Hulk
I'm
going hard.
more excited than for
Give
this
me
than
some
Moon Knight
Rosario
now.
Dawson.
Oh my god, dude. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that shit, especially if they do the Hulk thing. Man, and that's just something that like I was thinking about.
Yeah,
It's not like
I
read
mean, I
that
told
shit.
you off screen and then you plagiarized it. But it's whatever. Did you win a contest?
Listen, I won a contest. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So for casting for her, the number one person I'd love to see would never fucking happen because I don't think she would ever do a movie like this. Britt Marling.
She-Hulk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Jen Walters is a lawyer. She's super intelligent. She's very witty. She's very sarcastic at times. She was actually, I believe, the first character in the Marvel Universe to break the fourth wall way before Deadpool was around. And she's like, I could see Britt Marling really nailing that role.
And you think she wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I don't think Britt Marling would do a big studio picture like this. Or a big studio thing that's like multiple things long. She pretty much only does her own shit. Yeah. She writes her own stuff. So I can see
but she wants that paper after that cancellation of her show.
I hope so. That'd be
paper
lovely.
coming that way. Yeah.
That'd be lovely. Also, as you mentioned, Rosario Dawson is a big fan favorite. I think she'd be fucking great.
It'd be fresh. Marvel had already worked with her.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like it's impossible that she's still Banner's cousin and that Banner's aunt or uncle has a multicultural relationship. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not far-fetched.
No, or a a biracial relationship. It's definitely not far-fetched. It's easily accomplished. And going on that same line of thinking, Lindsay Morgan. For people that don't know, she plays the character Raven in The 100. I think she'd be fucking excellent as She-Hulk.
Okay.
I think she'd be excellent.
That fucks with it.
I also really like Emmy Rossum because I think that she could literally do anything.
Okay.
And she's amazing. And Haley Bennett.
She should have been in the Eternals, man.
Oh my god, dude, she'd be perfect.
She just looks like she'd be able to play somebody of a higher power.
Oh yeah, like, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Haley Bennett, who was in the Red Sea Diving Resort.
Okay.
I think she could do it. I like her.
Yep, I can see that.
She'd be the one that went least to these, and again, like
she'd probably be the most achievable too.
Yeah, her or Rosario, because Rosario's familiar with Marvel.
Has worked with Marvel, Netflix TV show stuff like that. No.
I think Lindsay would be pretty accessible, whether she would be ever a thought to them or not, because she's not like a name.
Well, 100% in next year.
Yeah, she wouldn't be difficult, or she wouldn't cost a lot.
No screen time in season 6, so whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, not enough.
Biggest fail of season 6, man.
And then we have Miss Marvel. And for people that aren't aware of this incarnation of Miss Marvel, it is Kamala Khan, who is a Pakistani inhuman with shape-shifting abilities.
First ever Muslim, correct?
Exactly.
That's
she was
awesome.
the first ever lead character of a series to be Muslim.
No, I meant like first ever Muslim ever.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I'm just saying like ever.
She's Apocalypse of the Muslim faith. She was the first.
No, like ever. This is the first ever.
No, but I believe she was the first Muslim character to lead a comic series. For Marvel anyways. And she has shape-shifting abilities. Not that she's like a Kree and she become whatever she wants. She can contort her body and
get
shift
big old
it
hands.
like Mr. Fantastic does. Like Reed does. She assumes the mantle of Miss Marvel in honor of her hero, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers.
Boo.
Which also allows the possibility for Brie Larson to appear in this series.
Boo. Too much Brie Larson.
So I don't know that Brie Larson herself would appear in it, but there will be references throughout the whole series all the time about her because she is who Kamala Khan looks up to.
Well, these shows are ruined for Drew. God.
Why?
He hates Brie Larson.
Oh, so Drew's an incel. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep, he hates her, man.
What a piece of shit. And for her, I have no casting because I don't really know any Pakistani or Pakistani American actresses, and I feel like they're going to want to keep that intact.
Like that has to be. Yeah, there's no changing that.
Like I'm very aware of like actresses that are not from America or like from other countries and stuff like that, but Pakistan doesn't have like a huge film industry. You know what I mean? And I know there are Pakistani actresses and Pakistani American actresses. Yes. I just don't readily know any. So I don't really have any ideas for casting for that.
Okay.
But it's Marvel, so it's not like they're going to get it wrong. They haven't yet.
Nope.
Other than Thanos. That was terrible.
That
was terrible.
There were a few. Well, Thanos.
Yeah,
I mean,
Josh Brolin was awful.
Most of the. I don't want to go into detail, but there were a few. Like over half of the heroes that have been casted are terrible.
Over half are
terribly
awful.
casted.
Well, and Brie Larson, she was obviously the wrong choice.
I agree too.
Her movie limped to $1 billion. It's pathetic.
She didn't smile enough.
No, she definitely didn't smile enough. Nope.
Because that's what makes or breaks the characters if they smile.
Only an actress. That's what makes or breaks an actress.
Of course.
Yeah.
No one complained about Jon Snow not smiling like maybe
ever
5
one
times
time?
in 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Or 8 seasons.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's a man and a white man, so it's
that's
okay.
True. Oh, damn. You gotta, See, Nick, that's why we work well together, man. You point these things out.
Yeah.
I don't catch them because I'm stupid.
I got to keep you frosty.
Hey, thank you.
Did you watch the Mandalorian trailer?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Looks awesome. Visually awesome.
So before this trailer, it's Disney, it's Star Wars. I'm going to watch the Mandalorian. But it wasn't something that I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for the fucking Mandalorian. It was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
That got me more hyped because I was like, Mandalorian.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a person that's not crazy about Boba Fett just because he's Boba Fett.
Exactly. So. Before this trailer, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, well, I'm now ready for the Mandalorian. Let's go.
Taika.
Now I'm excited, dude.
Be voicing IB. What is that?
No, it's like IG-11, I think is what it's called, which
he's
is fucking
a bad droid,
cool.
the one with the spinning that can see every... Oh,
I believe that's IG-88. It's a different droid, yeah.
Okay.
Who is a bounty hunter from the movies.
And that dude looked bad.
Yeah, he looks badass.
Yeah,
so that trailer got me super excited because it was like, if someone would have shown me that trailer and be like, hey, this is the new Boba Fett movie, I'd have been like, oh yeah, it is. It has the production quality of a fucking like $200 million movie. It looks fucking
Looks
amazing.
great with that ship going over the caverns.
Oh my
dude,
God,
that looks
dude.
so good.
And
Looks so good.
it's John Favreau at the helm. Like he's the
He's
executive
directing the whole thing.
No, he's
Oh,
the executive producer. He's a
okay. So he's overseeing something.
I don't think he's a showrunner. He's the executive producer, and he wrote the first episode, and I think he may have written other ones or something. But the show is his idea.
Okay.
So yeah, I have faith in that dude.
That's what's up.
He's consistently delivered.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Other than all his Marvel and Disney work, he's consistently delivered.
I agree. I
all
think
that
Chef
stuff's
is
terrible.
his magnum opus.
Chef's his magnum opus. The movie with no fucking ending.
Yes.
I loved that movie, but man, like it just
Like that jump
literally
at the end
just
was like,
ends.
fuck,
It's like,
what? 6
happened?
months later?
Like we weren't ready for this jump
Yeah,
yet.
that's what I mean. I want to see a little bit more progression.
Exactly. The movie's fun, but it's like
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's abrupt.
For sure.
very abrupt ending.
Him and what's his name?
Leguizamo,
Leguizamo.
awesome in it. And
Yes,
Johansson
awesome.
was good in her little part too.
Does this look like fucking molten cake?
Dude, when he's freaking out. Oh man, I love John Leguizamo as an actor. Period.
Yeah,
he should be in
100%.
fucking Marvel.
And I
Oh,
really
man.
hope he gets recasted as the clown in Spawn.
Oh god, me too. He was
Dude,
perfect.
He was absolutely fucking
He's the
funny.
best part of that fucking movie.
Absolutely.
He killed it, bro.
Absolutely.
He killed it. So yeah, very excited for Mandalorian, and then there's also Rise of the Skywalker.
Boring.
Definitely not the thing I'm most anticipating this year at all.
Seriously, I'm going to go to the theater to buy the ticket, to rip the ticket, to buy popcorn, dump the popcorn, leave, piss on the sidewalk as I leave, go back in and watch the movie because I'm excited to see it. What are you fucking crazy? Come on.
I'm gonna go to the theater and buy a ticket, turn around and rip it in front of everybody else, just to be like, there's one seat less.
Just want to see it. Just be like, I'm going to buy 20 tickets, please. And then just leave the theater.
Like, fuck you all.
Movie starts in 2 minutes and I'm out.
But I'm gonna keep coming back to make sure no one's sitting in my seats.
Exactly. I'm going to be like, hey, these seats are bought. I
These
have
are
the
mine.
tickets.
And then I leave again.
Yep.
Yep. So they showed some footage at D23 that like essentially went through all of the almost said Marvel, all of the Star Wars movies, and then culminated with showing a few scenes from Rise of the Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. 3, I believe.
So one of the scenes it shows is her and Kylo fighting on top of like this ship. It looks like this downed craft on water as water's crashing around. Looks like that's gonna be epic as shit when they're
nice,
fighting.
Yeah, it's
That
gonna be
shit looks dope
Kylo
as
trying to
fuck.
tell her to not become Sith because he's like now a good guy Jedi. He's the main Jedi, and I like it.
Dude, maybe.
That's
Maybe.
my hope. I hope
That's
that
not
that
my
has
hope,
that
but
twist,
maybe.
dude. That's a great trilogy.
I
right there.
don't want that, but if they do it, it better be done well.
Yep,
Better be done well.
it's possible because Kylo's already given that hint. There's not pure evil. Yeah, he killed his dad, but
know,
that was
man.
when he was completely obsessed with being his grandfather.
That's true.
Like-
That's true.
That's all it is. It's all this complex, and then he fucking. Of course, Luke can't tell Rey the truth in the second one. Like he's like, just say the truth. Why are you fucking lying? You tried to kill me. Like what, dog?
So it starts with Luke Skywalker saying in a voiceover that we assume is meant for Rey.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the knowledge of us contained within you, but
My
it
God.
is your fight now. What?
My God.
Rey has all the knowledge of the Jedi's contained within her? I mean, just the knowledge of Luke, Obi, and Yoda is more than fucking enough. Oh my God, that's insane.
Is it December yet?
Yeah, no shit, right? And then we hear a voiceover of Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious, as he is saying, I can't remember his exact words, but he's alluding to, like, what a great power she could be. And then we see we see Rey clad in a dark robe, very Sidious looking, with a double-bladed fucking red lightsaber. So is Rey going dark side at all?
With the fucking hood on, dude.
Oh my
She's
God,
going
look,
evil, bro.
The beast. Oh, and I love the way they correlated in the trailer when Luke Skywalker's like, you have all this in you. It's up to you now. And it shows, as that sentence is finishing, it's the scene from The Force Awakens where Kylo and her are fighting in the lightsaber battle, and she's like teaching herself in her mind how to do it, and her eyes open right as he finishes his line. I was like, oh God, I'm so hype. Whoever cut this trailer's a genius, paid them millions.
Man. First glimpse, I actually thought that was Natalie Portman with the dual lightsaber. That's why I was like, is that?
Oh,
and I
yeah.
had to rewind. I was like, okay, it's Rey. I was like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
She's dead.
She's dead.
It's like, whoa.
She was in the trailer, though. They did show young Natty
true.
kissing Anakin.
That's true.
But my theory on the Dark Rey thing is that it is either going to be Luke showing her a vision of what she would become if she fell to the dark side,
A god among mortals.
and he, like in a bad way. It'd be him relating to her, like, "Hey, look, I actually did this for a time. My dad was Darth Vader, and I went to the dark side, and it was a bad idea. Did not fucking work out.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it." And why the fuck would he be showing her that? There are only two possibilities I can think of why he'd want to show her that. Well, I guess technically three. If Kylo was still bad, maybe she is seriously considering joining him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the least likely.
If he somehow made the point, but I don't think
Exactly.
So,
I think that's too unlikely. I think it's because either she is somehow a product of Sidious's bloodline, or she is a Force creation created solely by Sidious himself. Like Sidious and Plagueis before her created Anakin Skywalker, Sidious now creates her on his own because he believes he's better than Plagueis, which is why he killed his master, Plagueis. So he believes that he on his own can create the perfect Sith being.
And I personally, I know people hate that for whatever reason.
I love that.
I like that kind of
love
stuff
it.
because to me that makes it seem like that force is much stronger than anything else.
Yep.
It is pure force, child.
Mhm. That's how she's
that's
so
why
powerful.
Darth Vader was Darth Vader.
Exactly.
Like, I like that. I think that's a great connection to have a. Especially that would be funny if like it shows us that if she goes evil, you can't make a baby this way because no matter what you do,
we gotta stop doing
it
this.
turns evil and it's very powerful.
Well, the intention, though, has always been for it to be evil.
True.
Because her and Anakin
That's
are the
true.
only two canonically we know of that were created, if she is in fact created.
If
right?
she is in fact
Anakin
created,
is
yeah.
the only one so far, and he was created to be a Sith.
Yeah.
He wasn't created to be the balance. The Force pushed back and gave him the balance within him. And then the Jedi thought he was the prophesized the one, right?
And that was not the case.
Which I guess, he was. But the one failed because he turned evil.
Mhm.
So there is no more prophesized the one because they had it, and he turned into be a bad guy.
Nope. Go ahead and throw that out the window.
Yeah, oops. So if she is in fact a creation or a product of Sidious, I believe that would be Sidious showing her what she could be under his tutelage, like with his power. She could
Look
become
at
this
every
great
world
force.
bend to your will.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. I'm so fucking excited for
ready.
that movie.
I'm ready.
I'm so hyped, bro.
Nah,
Ah!
You're not even a Star Wars fan.
Nope, I hate him.
I
Hate him,
agree.
hate him, hate him.
Oh.
And then there was a little, actually I haven't talked to you about this yet, so I can get your first reactions here about it.
Ooh.
So
I
there
like
was new information about Frozen 2 came out. I believe they showed like a new sizzle reel. And the writers themselves about Frozen 2.
Sizzle.
Yeah, like a sizzle reel.
Don't yell at me.
The writers themselves talked to like reporters about Frozen 2, and they addressed the speculation concerning Elsa's sexuality. And they said, per the writers, her romantic life is not explored at all in the sequel. They felt like the story they wanted to cover was what is it like to be someone who is this powerful and actually has powers in this world where powers don't exist. She has powers. She's the only one. And so it's the exploration of where did they come from?
Good.
How
origins.
did she get
Yes.
them?
Yes.
So I like that. But I don't like that they're not addressing it because I feel like I'm incredibly disappointed that Disney is wasting an opportunity for inclusion and acceptance. I think that's a mistake.
But they're also, at least they're not pushing heterosexuality down our throats.
But they're not pushing the first.
They're
off,
not choosing any side.
They're
and
not
it's-
pushing
that
a
upsets
narrative
one
period,
side more than the
which I
other.
really like.
Yeah.
They're not pushing a narrative period. They're not making her heterosexual. They're not making her lesbian or bisexual
She's
or
not
anything like
depending
that.
on a man or woman.
Exactly. I loved that about the first Frozen, that the central relationship of the film was two sisters, and they were not dependent upon the romantic interests of a partner.
Well, they
Didn't
had
matter.
the one hint of the bad guy, but
Yes, but he wasn't like what hints on the story, and he didn't come save the day.
no, he
It
turned
was
evil.
them
It was-
that
yeah.
saved the day with each other. And I really love that about Frozen, and it seems like Frozen 2 is going to be much the same way. It's a relationship built around them being sisters.
Yeah, I just hope it actually has
That's
a
cool.
very serious tone, and that the trailer seems like it will
looks
be.
like it will
now.
be, yeah. And I'm very excited to find out Elsa's powers.
Of course.
Or where they come from. And they also mentioned something about like their parents' death, something being cloudy about it.
What?
Like their parents died in like that
Yeah.
shipwreck. Maybe it wasn't an accident.
Huh.
Like they alluded to like maybe something like sinister was going on there.
Probably had a deal.
And they're going to go try to figure that out. Yeah, maybe.
Could be something similar to Maleficent, like
Could be.
your child is promised to me.
I am excited that they're going to explore her like not history or backstory, but the origin of her powers and where they came from. It seems like
Why
that's what
does
the
she have
movie
this?
is.
It's not just a random occurrence.
Exactly. They're like on a quest to figure out why she has it. I do think it's I'm sorry. I do think it's a
Gross.
wasted opportunity for like inclusion and to like not push but to be an example of acceptance. I think that's a missed
You
opportunity.
know, Disney's not going to take a risk on that for following the highest-grossing animated movie of all time, and its
It's Frozen the
sequel.
high school server, is it?
Mhm.
I
And
don't
its
know.
sequel.
I think they should. They're
They
doing it with
should.
Marvel.
Yeah.
And
This would be huge.
those are family movies too.
Yeah, and I just think it's funny how insecure and ashamed adults are when they see, why are you putting this in a children's show? Because, you know, maybe children are gay. Like,
I mean,
like you're not just like, I don't, how clueless are you? Like, why
Yeah.
are people so afraid of that? Like, you don't have to like do it. Like, I'm so confused.
It's-
Like, I don't know why
no
it's
one is
so,
walking into your house and be like, "Get the fuck up!
Yeah.
We're going to the movies to watch this right
Like,
now." Like, no one's making you.
and it's the media's fault. It's Hollywood's
100%,
fault for,
100%.
you know, and it's like, obviously this is a history. It's not like I'm blowing somebody's mind with what I'm saying now. It's not a revelation.
Oh my god!
But that's all stems from the media's fault. Like
Mm-hmm.
pushing in Hollywood the heterosexuality, like that's not like that's what people think is the norm, but it's not. Like, well, how about you just love whatever the fuck you want to
Exactly.
love? Like who fucking cares? They're happy.
That's
Like
how I feel
only
about
negative, shitty people want to tear down other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to like I'm so ashamed of my life, so why are you happy?
Yeah.
Like
Or
go fuck yourself.
I'm unhappy,
Like,
so you have to be too.
Yeah,
no,
that makes
I don't.
zero sense to me.
I don't.
Like why are you trying to fight this uphill battle?
No,
Like,
yeah, it's fucking stupid.
I
dude.
don't know. It's
I never understood it.
I love the gays. Shout out.
But I mean, like, yeah, I get that they are like walking a line here, right? And they probably feel like they're kind of backed into a corner with it.
That's why they're
It's
like,
like,
fuck it, we're not doing
If
either.
they address it, period, there's fallout.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But Let It Go became like this, the song Let It Go became this like mantra for like the LGBTQ plus community. It became like a coming out song.
Yeah.
Right?
She became a queen.
Exactly.
She's
yeah,
an
she
icon.
did. So
Awesome, baby.
it is disappointing in a sense to me that they're not leaning into that, but I understand why they're not. And I like that instead of leaning one way, they're just like, we're not fucking talking about it.
She's gay to
The
me.
story
so that's all that
isn't
matters.
the story isn't about that. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
See,
It's
that's
very-
nice,
Frozen
but I see
it-
what you mean
yeah.
by not
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
inclusion. Yeah, it sucks.
Frozen itself already broke the mold when the first movie came out because it didn't hinge on a romantic interest, and that being like a crucial factor in saving the day.
In most of Disney's movies.
And most of them they do. So it already broke that mold that way. So it does make sense that they would continue in that path. I do understand that.
Yep.
So that's all cool. And it's fucking Frozen too, so I'm super excited. That trailer was hype as fuck.
Yeah, I'm down.
With her trying to swim through like the waves and shit.
I
was
just
like,
hope
oh
it's
my
more
God.
of a story than the first one.
Yeah, same. I do too. It seems like it's going to be, especially if it's trying to dive into like.
Because for me as an
Where
adult,
she-
Frozen's not very a rewatchable movie.
I've seen it a couple times, but it's because I really like the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I love that movie. I think it's fantastic. But I'm also like a Disney fan, so like
no.
a super Disney fan. I love their shit.
No, of course, dude. You're talking to me like I'm not.
So
Get outta here.
speaking of fucking movies, we both watched The Beach Bum
Whoop.
the other day. For people that aren't aware of what The Beach Bum is, it is on Hulu if you have Hulu, so you can stream it. And it is the new film by Harmony Korrine. If his name is not familiar to you, he did the movie Spring Breakers with James Franco and the entirety of the Disney Channel. It's a very lewd movie. It's fucking incredible. He also did a movie called Gumo way back in the day that is like a cult like favorite movie. I really don't like that movie. But The Beach Bum stars Matthew McConaughey as a drunk, drugged out writer. Well, I guess poet. He's like a writer, but he's also a poet who lives in Florida and just kind of does what he wants.
He just calls it poetry, though.
Yeah, he calls it poetry. He just like does what he wants. He just flows through life,
Dude.
getting messed up every
Very
day,
go
doing
with
what
the
he
flow,
wants.
the whole
Oh yeah.
There is nothing that stops this man from going forward.
He even has a quote in the movie, like you mentioned this earlier before the podcast, where he says like, how people feel like the universe is working against them. I feel like it's working with me.
Yeah,
It's
conspiring
like
to make them bad. Yeah.
It's like conspiring to like make bad things happen. I feel like it's conspiring to make good things happen for me.
Yeah.
And
Like,
that
it's
is
just always trying to make me happy.
that line is the essence of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though really bad shit happens to him or happens around him in this movie and to him at times, it's like he doesn't suffer blowback or fallout from it. His life just continues and he continues doing what he wants.
Yep.
Like it's fucking incredible.
It is nuts.
It's insane, dude.
Because you think he's a broke ass dude, and then all of a sudden, hey, he drives across the fucking water for a little bit, and hey, my wife's a billionaire, and I'm loaded. And like,
his wife's like fucking mega rich, and his wife is played by Isla Fisher,
yeah,
who is amazing. She is like, as an actress, period, she's an amazing comedic actress, dude. She's so fucking
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah,
And
her
I thought she
delivery's
was
really good.
I thought she was incredible in this. Like, she's just this whimsical, happy, like figure throughout the movie.
Yep, and you can definitely see why she's so enamored with Moondog too.
And
Like,
conversely, why he is with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they have like it's
Like,
really
Moondog
weird.
can do no wrong to most people. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and it's because I'm assuming that most people just know what he has done previously, like works wise. Like
He's a genius.
he was
level,
considered like a genius in like poetry and writing and stuff, because I guess like the works he published when he was earlier was like so far ahead of what he was doing like age wise and shit. Like this guy's fucking amazing. Like he's a genius. And then he just like coasted. after
Just
that.
coasted. He's like, man, I married a billionaire.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna chill out, smoke a lot of weed, fuck whoever I want. She can do it the same.
Yeah, and they have like a
It's a very weird relationship.
They have a weird relationship. It's like terrible but perfect.
But like
it's fucking
yeah,
weird,
like
dude.
Undying love.
Undying
like,
love to where the point that like they don't really care what the other person does. They both are constantly cheating.
I mean,
on
he
each other.
she calls him and she's late. He's late for her daughter's wedding, and he's fucking in the bathroom.
Yeah,
and he's
and
like,
it's very loud.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just doing some yoga, downward doggy style.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like everyone in the whole little like bar scene was like laughing, like, oh man, they hear you in the back. What are you making, burgers back there? He's slapping her with a spatula. Like, this movie is absolutely a hot mess, but it's very enjoyable.
Oh yeah, it's so fun, but it's like it's hard to be like this is a great movie. Because I don't know that I even say that it's good, even though I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 because it was so fucking enjoyable.
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'd be like, this is a really good movie. You should check it out.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
I could see why I'm seeing people be like, this is such the biggest shit of fucking 2019.
And I
like,
get that.
What is this movie? It made no sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah.
It didn't.
It meanders the whole time.
Yeah.
There's a plot, but there's not really a plot. Like,
Nope.
the plot is watch Moondog for an hour and a half, do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He loses some loved ones. He gains some new ones.
Yeah.
Gets some money. Loses some money. Smokes some weed. Smoke some weed.
And I'm not going to ruin them, but there are quite a few cameos in this.
Yes.
And they're all big, well-known people, and it's really cool. One of them, the one he goes to rehab with, took me a minute to realize that's who that was.
Oh, you didn't recognize him immediately?
No, it wasn't immediate.
Oh, as soon as he took off his and did you
No,
notice
it took
that
a
scene where
second.
he kept putting on and off his glasses like 6 times?
For no reason.
He's talking.
Oh, it
he's
was
talking at a
incredible.
bar and he lifts up his glasses and he's like, "Yeah, you know what I mean." Puts down his glasses. But Moondog says something. He comes back, lifts up his glasses. Yeah, man, it's just hard out here. Glasses down. Like, what the fuck is this dude doing?
I loved it. I
The
loved it.
douchiest dude of all time.
Oh, yeah, dude, he was great,
like,
too.
He was
Great.
super. You see him, you're like, oh, he's like a parody of everything that is douche.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
100%.
100%. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
is that.
Dude, his hair was the worst ever.
Oh my god, his beard.
That was
like, how
his
it's all
beard.
faded
So
off.
terrible.
Dude, it's so bad.
Harmony Korrine said he got that idea for
feel
his
like-
beard by looking at some kind of food. He was like eating some kind of food or something, and like it made that formation. He was like, "That's gonna be someone's beard."
Similar to Spring Breakers, do you think these are people that he has watched in real life and like, I'm gonna make that into a character?
What I think from this movie is when he went and made Spring Breakers is what gave him the idea to make this movie.
You think so?
I think that he ran into people that were like this while making the film, and it inspired him to make this movie.
Okay.
I think that's what happened. I don't know this for sure.
Yeah, of
But the
course not.
movie tonally it looks so similar to Spring Breakers.
It did.
It has the same exact style. It has the same tone throughout the beginning of it.
Drastically changes off
It
that.
drastically changes, and Spring Breakers itself drastically changes as the movie goes on. It becomes way
Which is crazy because it
fucking
got
dark.
Yeah. This only had one dark moment, but it never felt dark. It was a
It
low
didn't.
point, but didn't hit you like, oh, like you think that you would have been like, okay, here comes the drama, here comes the depressing part. That's not what happened.
No, but then you realize, oh, we're watching Moondog.
Yeah, this is Moondog's story. Like, fuck me.
He's fucking nuts. And Matt McConaughey is awesome in this role.
Yes, he was excellent.
It's not.
It's an old school Matthew McConaughey role.
Oh,
It's like,
100%,
like
dude. 100%.
he probably phoned this in and still killed it.
Yeah.
Like this is just like, oh man, I haven't done one of these roles in a while. Let's have fun.
It's by no means his best performance,
No.
but it is great. I think it's among his better performances. He's done a couple that I like more than this, but this one would be up there. Like, it was very good. It's the Matt McConaughey show. He just goes on and has fun for an hour and a half, and he's a joy to watch. It's awesome. I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of Matt McConaughey, or if you're a fan of Spring Breakers. I think that you would enjoy this movie. Or if you just want to see like something weird and have a weird, wonderful
Yeah,
experience.
if you just liked a nice little party movie, man. It's not like wild party movie.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's let's have fun and just go with the flow. Like we said, Moondog is a fucking character.
yes, dude. I'm
He's
not
special.
I'm not, like you said this earlier, I'm not, and I agree, like I'm not quite sure what the message of this movie is, or if there even is one. Because if there
Don't
is
take life
one,
for granted.
like maybe if there is a message, the only thing I got from it was like just do whatever you want and it'll work out. And it's like, well, I mean that's not necessarily true
That's
though.
not necessarily true. That's called anarchy, and the world would fall apart.
And it doesn't work.
No.
But yeah, overall, if you have Hulu, you should give it a look. It's only an hour and a half long.
Yep. Be warned, there are a lot of boobies.
A lot of movies, a lot of cursing,
A lot of cursing, a lot of boobies, a lot of drug usage.
Yeah, it's definitely an
A
adult
lot of
movie.
drinking. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of drinking, dude.
Not as much sex as you would think, given the amount of.
Yeah, given what the
stuff.
movie is.
Given what the
Yeah.
movie is.
Oh, for sure.
There is sex, but not as lot. Not very long, detailed either. There's actually a really funny sexual scene.
I was about to say, actually, the best thing in the entire movie is around a sexual act. It's
I was
hilarious.
dying. I was
dude.
dying. I'm like, what am I watching? Because it's like also developing the story while it's happening. Like it was bizarre.
It was really cool. Like that was a pretty creative scene.
Yep.
I enjoyed McConaughey in it.
Of course.
I enjoyed the huge spliff that he smokes. That like this is like nothing you've ever had before. This will change the world.
That whole breakdown of that weed, it'll change everything. That is like creme de la creme. That is the top.
He's like, there's only one plant that grows this in Jamaica. Oh, it was killing me.
Jesus.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed it.
Very much.
I was very pleased with it.
But of course.
I was gonna go see Ready or Not today, but that didn't happen.
Don't blame me.
Well, I'm not blaming you.
No, you're blaming me. Let's do this right now on the mic.
I might go see it on Wednesday. I'm very excited for that movie.
Cool.
Very excited. I also watched.
I've heard mixed things.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
I watched. I think I texted you already. I watched It, the remake,
Yep, you were telling me about that.
only because I want to see It 2 so bad. Like, dude, that movie's not scary at all. Not in the fucking least. There's not a scary part. There are 2 scenes I can remember that are kind of jump scares, but the second one comes immediately after a super intense scene, so it's like, it didn't even affect me.
Wow.
Like, yeah. Like it's during that scene. It's the capping end of that super intense scene.
So you were too focused to even
Yes,
jump. You're like,
it's like the camera cuts and bam, Pennywise is just right there. So like it would be a jump scare, like oh there he is, but it just followed something that was really brutal. So it's like oh now he's here. Damn.
shit.
Bill Skarsgård, dude, holy fucking shit.
Nice.
That dude was incredible.
Yeah, I
Incredible,
fucked with that whole
dude.
Skarsgård family.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All
dude.
of them, dude.
How talented does that family need
all
to be?
of them, dude.
Stalin's amazing. His kids are freaking awesome.
Alexander Skarsgård movie. He looks good in it, man, but I just don't care about war movies, man. Check it out. I forgot the name.
I
but
think I
it's
saw
true,
this preview actually. Yeah, what the fuck
I don't
is
know.
that called?
He looks like he's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be very entertaining. I'm just
I love
not into,
Alexander
I'm not into
so.
war movies. So
Yeah. I love Alexander Skarsgård. Like, I'm always interested when he's in something.
Yes.
Because he's so good. Did you ever see Melancholia?
No.
Speaking of him, oh, dude, that movie's a fucking trip. It's him and Kirsten Dunst. You should see that
Cool,
shit.
cool.
She's the star, but he's in it.
I don't care for Dunst that much, but
I really don't either, and she'll never do anything half as good as her performance in this movie.
No.
It's like one of the most realistic and true depictions I've ever seen of depression.
okay.
Like, the movie is by no means uplifting. It is very, very
that makes me
depressing.
really
want
wanna
to
watch it.
It's really good. It's worth your time for sure.
We might as well put on Dear Zachary and just have a good old time.
God, have you seen that?
No, I
Oh my
refuse
God,
to watch
dude.
it.
This is the most heartbreaking. If people that don't know what we're talking about, this is a movie called Dear Zachary, A Letter to a Boy About His Father. It's a documentary. It is the most heartbreaking movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I have never been so angry when a movie ended before than when I watched that. And it wasn't because I was angry at the movie. I was angry about what happened throughout the film. And it's a documentary. It chronicles a real chain of events. Dude, I literally wept like a fucking newborn baby multiple times throughout that movie. When I watched it, for 24 hours I was like cold. Like it just left me like emotionless. And like the next day I was with my mom and we were going somewhere and I was trying to tell her about the movie, and in the car trying to explain it, a river opened and I just started like crying my eyes out and couldn't even finish what I was telling her.
Jeez.
I've only seen the movie once and I'll never fucking watch it again.
God.
It's like my highest recommendation, but also my lowest recommendation. It's like, you should experience this, and I'm so fucking sorry.
My apologies ahead of
But
time.
it's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So what did you read this week, man?
Yeah, I was just about to ask
What
you
did
like a
you
very
read
similar
this
question.
week?
So this week we are going to talk a little bit about X-Men, about the wonderful and amazing, beautiful person that is Jonathan Hickman,
Boo, shit writer. Boo.
and the brilliant work he is doing in the House of X and Powers of 10 series right now.
Not to get confused with Powers of X. That is not his thing. Powers of 10.
Yeah.
Powers of 10.
Not to be confused with the also dueling series House of 10 Powers of X. Totally different thing.
Yeah, totally different thing. Not even Marvel.
By Hickman John. Totally
Hickman
different.
John, and actually Kate's Donnie is co-writing.
Kate's Donnie.
And it's crazy.
And he's actually the artist of it.
Yep, and Jeff Shaw actually came back. He was like, he switched from Guardians to leave Marvel to write this.
Jeff Shaw crazy. He knows what he wants.
He do what he want.
So let's talk a little about House of X2 and then Powers of X2 and Powers of X3. So I've got a little bit
we
of
didn't even talk about House of X2.
Huh?
I guess we could sprinkle it in. We haven't talked about it yet. Remember?
I just said House 2.
No, man. You said Powers 2 and Powers 3.
I said 3 things.
No,
House
man.
2,
You said
Powers
2.
3.
Don't-
All right.
Agree
You're
with me.
fat.
Agree with me. Agree with me.
Just agree with me. And real quick before we dive into the comics, for people that may not know this, Josh's favorite actress that is currently acting, I don't know if it's his all-time favorite, is Emma Stone, correct?
Yes.
Is she your all-time or like just your current that's working? Or is she like kind of almost both?
I would have to say all time.
She's all-time favorite?
no,
So Josh is like a massive Emma Stone fan. And Emma Stone is doing the new Cruella de Vil movie where she plays young Cruella, which is, oh my
She's
God,
gonna kill it.
perfect casting. There was nobody better to cast in that
She's
role
gonna-
than
she's
Emma
gonna kill
Stone.
it. She's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
kill it.
absolutely going to kill it. So there's a bit of trivia about this movie. You want to tell them?
No, you go ahead. You go
There's
ahead.
a bit of trivia about this movie. They had to delay production for like, what, 2 weeks?
I thought it was longer.
Or like
She
2 months or
dislocated
something like
her-
that?
Yeah,
Because she like broke or dislocated her arm at a fucking Spice Girls
yeah.
concert.
Dude, going hard at a Spice Girl concert, dude. I mean, what's not to love?
That is the best reason I've ever heard for why production had to be delayed. What happened? Well, the lead got hurt at a concert. What concert? Spice Girls. What?
She was going too hard in the mosh pit at a Spice Girls concert.
And for people that don't know about Emma Stone, she's like the biggest Spice Girls fan on the planet. She's
love it.
obsessed with the Spice Girls. For a long time,
It's that she goes to a concert in the middle of shooting.
right? Because of Spice Girls, you gotta go.
Yeah, gotta go.
It's like, it's the reformation tour. I have to be there. I need the day off.
They're back, baby.
She called in sick shooting her $200 million movie to go see Spice Girls and then got hurt.
And then got hurt.
So for a long time, like when she would go on different talk shows and stuff like that, they would always tease her with an appearance of a Spice Girl. Like, you can watch episodes of her on, like, Ellen or on the Graham Norton show where they tease that the Spice Girls are there, and she freaking loses it every time. She goes, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Dude, it's hilarious. It's so adorable. Like, her personality, period.
Emma
At least
Stone is amazing.
the personality she presents to you,
Yes.
which I don't believe to be fake. She seems very genuine. She seems like such a fun person.
Yeah.
Like, she's such an adorable, fun-loving person.
Yeah.
I bet she's like, it should be really cool to have this friend.
Yeah, and it's funny. No one's told her to tone it down, but they yell at
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence for it.
Yeah,
Now
I guess
she's not even like
I
the
guess
same
'cause-
person on red
It's
carpet.
because Emma Stone's just too cute.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is gorgeous. Wow.
And I'm pretty sure Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence are like really good friends too.
They have a couple funny interviews together.
Yeah.
So maybe, possibly.
I mean, they're both really young Oscar winners, so
Yeah, that's fresh.
both very well
Jennifer
very well
Lawrence,
deserved for their careers. I don't agree with Lawrence's win for that movie.
Jennifer Lawrence, first person to get a win before doing a sex scene. Woman.
Is that true?
I think so. That's at least was a factoid I read when she won.
Wow, how degrading is that?
That is kind of
Holy
that
fucking
just
shit,
shows
dude.
now. Mhm.
It's awful.
That is awful.
Awful.
No.
Oh my
And it's not
God.
saying that those women that got a
Like, only
nomination
got it for
had a
that?
sex scene in
Right,
it. But
yeah.
I'm saying that in her
But-
film up to that point, like her
Mhm.
first sex scene was Passengers with Chris Pratt.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah, they didn't have one in Silver Lining.
No, they don't.
No.
Damn.
That was her first one, and it wasn't even. I mean, it's a PG-13 movie, so you know.
Silver
It's just like
Linings are-
her. What?
Oh,
No,
you
I'm talking about
Yeah, yeah.
Passengers. Like, I mean, I think she took her shirt off and walked over there. Like, they made
Yeah.
out for a while. They didn't, alluded to sex.
I really liked that movie. It got a lot of shit.
And
but I thought
obviously,
it
then
was
she
good.
got nude in Mother for like a half a second. I don't know. I
Was
assume
she?
that was it was during that fucking when they were all beating the shit out of her at the end of that
Oh,
movie.
you're right. Yeah, and like
Yeah,
ripping
they
her shit
showed
off.
boob for
Yeah.
And then Red
Woo.
Sparrow. Apparently, she was naked in that too.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I want to, but every time I pull it up to watch, it's like 2.5 hours
I
long.
know
of, like,
exactly.
this
I'm like, fuck. I want to
really
watch it because of
dramatic
J-Law.
spy movie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, man, this movie got terrible reviews, and it's 2.5 fucking hours. But I do love shit like that.
Mhm.
I love spy movie thrillers,
Mhm.
things like that.
And then it's
so-
J-Law.
and it's Jennifer Lawrence. So
Come on.
and apparently the movie itself is pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Like the action's brutal.
I just want to see her as a spy.
Yeah,
then,
for sure.
then I can be like, let me get her, Charlize Theron on up this bitch. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to see Peppermint.
Oh my God. Speaking of Charlize Theron, there's a brand new trailer out that literally shows you nothing. It's just one scene in a elevator. And it's Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie in the same elevator.
That's
Bombshell.
That's her. Yeah, that's Margot's the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's based on a real story, a true life story of, I can't remember the name of the person, but it's someone that worked at Fox News that got embroiled in like a harassment scandal. Who's like harassing a whole bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is Margot Robbie's character isn't a real person.
So the other two are?
The other two are. It seems like her character is a combination of a bunch of different characters that were also harassed.
Okay.
They combined like their stories into one person.
Okay.
But yeah, Charlize and Kidman play like real
Well, I
people.
just hope that Kidman actually shows range in this movie because the last movie
Fuck
we
you.
saw her in, dude, I'm sorry, she was awful in Aquaman.
Are you being serious?
Yes, dead serious, dude.
Oh, shit,
She literally had the same face the entire movie. There was no emotion. I didn't know if she was mad, sad, happy, or nothing. I don't know what she was
She's in
doing.
my top 10 that year for supporting actress.
Oh, that's crazy for Aquaman.
I thought she was
God,
fucking brilliant.
she was the weakest part for me in that movie.
Man, I thought she was excellent. I
An
loved her.
amazing movie.
I am a little biased because I'm a massive Nicole Kidman
Well, I
fan.
have nothing against her. I like Nicole,
her.
but that's why I was like, oh man, that's
Oh man, I liked her in
dude.
that
I
shit.
didn't. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
dude.
stupid.
Did you see that trailer I'm talking about, Bombshell?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw the. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I didn't know afterwards. Like I saw it on Facebook on our film group.
Yep.
Well, not film group, but in the
Oscar
group
Buzz,
when
yeah.
Oscar Buzz. I saw like they posted that and I watched it and I didn't even know until I read the comics that was Charlize Theron. It looks fucking nothing like her.
Huh.
She's
Yeah,
a-
I didn't
she's a
watch it.
fuck-
I just
she's
saw
a
the
chameleon,
yeah.
bro.
I just saw the beginning where Margot's walking out of the elevator, and I was like, oh man. And then I saw the cast and was like, oh, okay. I'll
That's
watch
all it is. It's her walking. She gets in an elevator and then like Charlize is already in there with some other people. Then they get off. And then Nicole
it. So what is
Kidman
it
walks
dealing
in.
with? I didn't.
It's dealing with that scandal.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, oh my God, those three in a movie? Holy fuck, sign me up.
Yes.
It could have been like they ride bikes for 2 hours. Like I'm there.
It's gonna be a rough one to watch though.
It's gonna be good. No, I'm sure it is. The performances, I'm sure, are gonna be excellent. But yeah, so let's jump into these Kermics. So we're gonna talk about House of X2, Powers of 10, 2, and 3. I've got some little notes and stuff. Just want to read real quick here. So House of X2 fundamentally changed the X-Men forever by retconning the origins of Moira McTaggart and making her a mutant, which she has never been before. For people that may not be aware of who Moira is, she was the on-again, off-again love interest of Professor X. They were engaged for a time.
And they still had that in here.
Yep, and they have that in here too. She was extremely instrumental in the earlier X-Men comics and throughout, honestly. She helped form the School for Gifted Youngsters. She fostered and raised multiple mutants, and she was always a really big activist for mutant rights and for equality. She was like,
Mutants.
yeah, right. Ugh, gross. She was a really big ally for them. Like she's a very, not necessarily central, but she's a very important character in the X-Men mythology. And so this retcons her, makes her a mutant. And not only is she a mutant, her mutant ability is to, when she dies, she reincarnates into another life, retaining all knowledge of her past lives.
Bruh.
Literally infinite knowledge for as long as she can live.
Bruh.
That's insane.
But how many lives does she have?
Exactly.
That's the question.
We don't know.
We don't know.
For sure. We have an idea because a character tells her.
Was it the 10th life that talks to Professor X then?
Yes.
Okay. And
What
the
we're
9th
seeing
life
in
is
year
what we saw in
10,
Power 10.
and year 10 is her 10th life.
Number 3 of Power 10. That was the 9th life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
The only one they never mentioned was the 6th or 7th.
Yeah. I'm gonna mention. I was gonna mention that too. Yeah, her 6th life is curiously missing. This issue goes through and mentions a whole bunch of her lives and shows you what happens in them. For her first 2 lives, she is against being a mutant and doesn't want to be, and she wants to cure it. So she tries to do that, and in her trying to do this, she is captured by Mystique and Destiny. And Destiny tells her, it was a precog, tells her that no matter what she does, if she ever tries this again, there will always be a point in their conjoining timelines that Destiny will find out, and she will always capture her and always kill her.
And if you try to kill me, I will stop you.
Yep.
Because I can see it and change it. Fuck me, dude. Who can kill Destiny? Nobody?
She's OP, bro.
Yeah.
She is OP.
I love it.
OP. So while they have her captured, she has this conversation with her and essentially tells her, you have 2 choices. You can keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep finding you, and I'll keep killing you. Or you can try what you haven't tried yet and embrace your mutant side and help us to not become eradicated. Because this cure that you think that you're creating one day will be made to where it is a necessity. Not a necessity, but it's to where it's automatic and we have to take it and it will wipe us out. You don't understand that you are creating the genocide of the mutants and you have to stop. You should help us instead.
Yes.
So then, when that scene ends, she calls Pyro, her son, and has him burn Mora alive.
Remember this.
And she does that because being burnt alive is one of the most painful ways to die, and she wants her to remember what it feels like. That's brutal.
Yeah, it is.
That is brutal. And in this, Mora runs the full gamut of going from both extremes of being against the mutants to being fully with the mutants and siding with Apocalypse and trying to have world domination.
Well, and even in her earlier lives too, she was well past everybody at her age because she had to lie about. She could probably talk from the jump, you know. What I mean? But she's like, I'm a baby, and I'll scare people if I'm like, hey, what up? Where's the water at? Where's my milk? I'm hungry. You know, you can't do that. And she was piano. She was a prodigy in everything she did. You know. Because she had no knowledge. She's like, 5th life, fuck it, I'm going to be a piano major this year. Fuck it, I'm going to write the next big song because I can now change history.
I'm the Beatles now.
Yeah, I'm the Beatles now.
Well, I mean, her time's after the Beatles, but still. Actually, no, it's
she
before.
Was
it's before.
No, was it? I thought it was the...
It's after, because it's the 70s or something,
I was going to say, it was 60s
after.
or 70s.
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
after. But still, yeah. She's like, I'm Ariana Grande now. I wrote all those. So yeah, she goes to both extremes, joining Apocalypse for quite a while, which is fucking nuts. Oh man, I love that was one of her lives. That she was like, "Fuck it, let's try this."
I'm gonna date Apocalypse. No big deal.
And she becomes Lady Apocalypse, Miss Apocalypse. She looks a lot like him. Takes on the same kind of form, which is really, really fucking cool. So after her encounter with Destiny and Mystique is when her perspective changes and she leans into her mutant side. Her 6th life throughout this whole thing is never mentioned, and it still hasn't been mentioned yet. So I'm curious about what that is. Saw a theory on Reddit that her 6th life is Earth 616, where she's not a mutant, and it's the original continuity.
Oh. Huh.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's
so
interesting.
She's just living a normal life, doing whatever. But when she dies, it just restarts. It goes to life 7.
Yeah. So in the end of this issue, the whole thing goes on from that, and then the end of it is her coming to Professor X and having him read her mind to see all of the past 9 lives that she's lived. Because now she knows that she needs to catch Professor X when he's very, very young, and he needs to know all this information because it's the only thing she hasn't tried is finding him while they're in, I believe it's right after college or right before college.
It was before he opened up the institution.
Yeah. So it's finding him young and having him read her mind to gain all the knowledge she has is the only thing she hasn't tried yet. So she's like, let's try this one. And that is what we're seeing with the current, quote-unquote, current timeline, X-Men Year 10, is that what's going on, which is kind of funny.
No, that was year 1, I thought.
It's Year 10. It's X10, which is also Mora's 10th life.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and she shows them all her past lives, and now they're going to continue on from that point, and which is what we've seen so far in House 1. That's what's happening, and this is showing how we got to that point.
Yeah.
So that was quite an instrumental issue. I understand now why they were like,
Well, you mean Powers 1,
you need to see
where
this.
we see each year, right?
Yeah, well, in House 1, though, the main storyline of House 1 is like Magneto showing those guys around.
Yeah.
That's in year 10, which is what's currently going on.
Well, see, that's when Moira met her. Had to have been year 1 then.
Wait, what?
Because if they already have all that thing in year 10, she met Professor Xavier before he even started.
No,
making
yeah,
a
she
plan,
meets him
so-
in year 1, but year 10
yeah.
is the continuation of that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking cool. So then in Powers of 10-2, did you have anything else you want to talk about House 1 or House 2?
No. That was, I mean, you covered the big things.
Yeah,
Nothing big from.
that was a really good issue. I still can't. That's a massive retcon of Moira
That's awesome.
McTaggart.
I was
Like,
just
oh, by the way.
I was excited to see Destiny.
No, dude, I was hype. Also, speaking on Destiny real fast, History of Marvel 2 came out, and in the opening page of History of Marvel 2, actually, before I get to that, Destiny and Mystique have been linked for a long time in the comics. They were like partners in crime. They were members of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants together, and it was always very much alluded to that they were a romantic couple. But because of the Comics Code Authority, they were never allowed to talk about it. There was even a plan that I believe was even written out to be done, where Mystique was going to shift into a man and impregnate Destiny, and they were going to have a child, which would have been Nightcrawler. But that was also rejected. So now, Marvel is retconning all of that to make their history what it was originally intended to be. So in the very first page of History of Marvel 2, you see the two of them embrace, and they share like a romantic kiss. And then in the first page of the annotations at the end of that book, it retcons their history to say that they became lovers and romantic partners, as was initially implied in 1988. So they retconned and changed it. And we were both like, all right, cool, now retcon Nightcrawler and make him their kid. But then we did a little more research on Azazel. And we're like, oh, never mind, don't do that.
Yeah, never mind.
He's
Azazel, fuck me, dude.
Yeah, he was on a character either of us were really that familiar with.
Nope.
And then after researching him today, we're like, oh, yeah, never mind, this dude is badass.
Like, holy fuck, dude. He's Nightcrawler and then some a lot.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
he's
and then a
everything
million.
Nightcrawler is not.
Oh my god,
Like-
dude. It makes sense now why in this series the Cardinals are based on his bloodline.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because he's OP.
Because he's fucking ridiculous, dude.
My god, dude. He's insane. So in Powers of 10, issue 2, we see the formation of Xavier, Magneto, and Moira's partnership in an effort to thwart the eventual downfall of mutant kind. So this is shortly after Moira goes to Professor X and shows him everything about her past lives. They then go to Magneto at a very young, like younger than they normally would have ever crossed paths with him, and recruit, well, not young, but younger than when they would have eventually teamed up. And they recruit Magneto to their side because she also tells him, or she has Professor
This
X
isn't
show
about
him.
surviving.
Yeah.
This is about thriving.
Exactly.
And then, of course, Magneto's like, you make one mistake, I'll be there to kill you, and
he's
blah,
like,
blah,
I know.
blah. Yeah, we know, dude. You've been saying the spiel for a long time.
We get it, bro.
Yeah,
we
we
get
get
it.
Yeah.
You're
Moira's like,
Magneto.
I've heard this 10 other times. Can we just move on?
And she even tells Magneto in that little interaction that the one thing that they have not tried is the two of them being partners. Because in every life she's had, the mutant kind has always failed, and they have never come together. Like Magneto and Xavier have never formed a partnership. So now they're trying that. I mean, that definitely seems like the way to go.
Of course.
Two pretty powerful ass mutants.
And put Cerebral on fucking Homeboy's head? Like, what up?
Oh, yeah, dude. And Magneto himself is an Omega, so obviously you want him on your side.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, dude, he's amazing.
I love it.
They need to know when Nimrod first came online in order to stop him. They have to know when he first gained sentience and consciousness. And I believe we've already been told that it happens in year 50, but I don't think they know that.
When were we told?
I think we were told in one of like the white pages of all the different stuff, but I
Oh,
can't be positive.
okay.
I read someone say that on Reddit. Like, weren't we told in year 50? And like a couple of people agree with them. I don't specifically remember that.
But
so
the
it could be
characters
wrong.
themselves do not
Yeah,
know
but
that.
I don't think the
That's where they have to
characters know.
pinpoint. They
Exactly.
don't have that.
Mhm.
And that's why also we have the Cardinal and all them Rasputin doing their thing, you know. But and now with Apocalypse,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like fucking the Four Horsemen, like Wolverine's a part of it, man.
Yeah, we get-
year one hundo.
It unveils in Powers of 10 issue 2 that Apocalypse is the leader that all Rasputin and all of them have been working for. Of all people, it's Apocalypse, the strongest. So, and he has when they give him this like information, and the information they give him isn't the information they need, but it shows them where the information they need is. So now they know exactly where to go because Nimrod's a machine, right? So all of their information is stored in like these big mainframes, and it's never.
He said he's more than a machine now.
Well, yeah, true. And the information's never really touched again because like it's not like they would need to go there all the time. So it's just kept in storage. But there's so much information. So they needed to pinpoint exactly where it is that they need to go, which they have now done. And when they hand him this like data thing, Apocalypse is like, truthfully, I would have killed you all to have this information. It's like, oh, thanks,
Cool.
our great leader.
Cool.
Glad you value our lives. That's
Times
great.
have changed.
Oh my God, dude.
Shut up, Apocalypse. Darkseid's better.
I mean, true.
I'm sorry. Issue 12 got me hyped.
Apocalypse is dope, though.
Issue 12 got me hyped.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that on Friday this week. Y'all will hear all about Justice League number 12. Woo! Or Justice League Odyssey number 12. That issue is hot fire. Woo, so good. Oh, and also Silver Surfer Black issue 3. We covered that in that
was
episode
also
on Friday.
really good. Still going strong.
Fantastic. So they're on a mission to retrieve that data. And then we jump to year 1000. Yeah, and we see an as yet unidentified mutant. We don't know who this mutant is in the future.
I'm still thinking
This
Professor
Apocalypse-looking person.
I don't know.
He looks like a young Apocalypse, but it's clearly not Apocalypse, as we have already found. Well, as we will find out later.
Yeah.
And he is seeking out a phalanx. I think is how you pronounce it. Phalanx. A phalanx. And
Phalanx, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And the purpose of this is to be integrated into the Phalanx Collective to achieve ascension, which would ensure the survivability of mutants. In a way. Because once you're assimilated into the collective, you become the collective, right? And actually, let me pull this up. I took a picture of the page explaining what the phalanx is, and I just wanted to read that little blurb.
Blurb.
So a phalanx is an interstellar society that operates on a galactic scale and represents an intellect that has total control of a host galaxy. At this level of society, an intellect exists only to expand its own intelligence by consuming lesser societies and to control the energy needs that expansion demands. So by this mutant in year 1000 contacting the phalanx and telling him that they want, or telling it, I guess, that they want ascension, their society has to be deemed worthy of having enough information to be consumed. Otherwise, it is just destroyed. So it's a very risky endeavor to summon this phalanx and ask to be included in ascension, because if it deems you unworthy, it destroys you. So it's like, well, 50-50. Let's hope. Fingers crossed.
I just don't know why you'd think that'd be peak life. Fuck me.
And if a phalanx encounters a society that is worth consuming by adding to its intelligence needs, the ascension occurs. If a phalanx encounters a society that is not worth adding to its collective, then it will see that society with a techno-organic virus. That virus will eventually produce a Babel spear that will summon a tech arc to remove and repurpose the societal waste from the universe. They destroy it. And there are multiple levels of types of intelligent societies in the universe, and a phalanx is the highest level. That's why ascension is ascension to a phalanx. And it's all very convoluted and kind of confusing if you're not like familiar with that subject matter. But a phalanx is the highest one, and that's like the most important thing that you need to know.
Okay.
That issue, man,
That's why you would want to seek ascension. Good
Dude,
God.
I know,
Like, you're like, fuck it, we're at peak. Let's go ahead and just become a hive.
Well, I'm assuming that, so if they're at peak, right, I read the theory that was something along these lines on Reddit. So if they're at peak and they get ascended and they are assimilated into the phalanx gets their collective intelligence, right? So it would absorb all that. So it would absorb Myra's lives and all her intelligence. So then if you're reborn again after that, wouldn't she have all that intelligence? If that blue being is Moira?
Huh. Oh, you think the being is Moira?
Maybe.
So maybe this is her getting... So they get to that point. That's the big lead up, is that she's trying to get ascension to be able to gain that knowledge to come back and be like, now I have
everything.
the mind of... Yeah.
Now she's a phalanx.
Fuck me. That'd be crazy.
So...
Damn, that could be the best outcome for that.
Destiny tells her that she can see into the future and see Mara's lives. And she has 10, 11 at most. She verbatim says that. You have 10, 11 at most. She's not positive on the number. We are all assuming that she only has 10.
She's already on her 10th.
Exactly. And what if that being at the end, that an unidentified mutant, is the ending of her 10th life, and then she's reborn again as her 11th? What if this issue closes, or this series closes with the ascension, and the last page is a blank page that says, and then her 10th life ended, and her 11th began, and then we get the new 6 issues of X-Men comics?
What would she be then?
She would know
She's
everything.
Still human, right?
She would know everything, though.
But how would... Yeah.
Well, if she were reborn again, I would assume she'd be reborn as a phalanx, with knowledge of all. She would almost be like omnipotent. Fucking nuts. if
crazy.
that being is Mara.
Yeah.
It's very possible it's not.
Fuck me, that'd be nuts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Insane.
'Cause
Like,
I don't know how a human, like, she's a mutant, but she can't live that long. But of course,
Exactly.
what did she do at some point in this timeline where she?
well,
Because she made it to year 100.
Krakoa
So
has those pills that extends life by 5
I was
years.
saying she made it to fucking year 100. So clearly,
Yeah, she made it to year 100 with Apocalypse. So
but she was also looked like she was in some sort of tube.
she was in a stasis.
Yeah,
So
she
what
was
they
in
did it
stasis.
again, then woke her in year 1000.
Oh.
And she ascended. Or what if somehow, in one of these lives, maybe in the 10th, because they're able to find out when Nimrod came online, they're able to stop that and somehow incorporate his technology. Because in the year 1000, that little drone that
thing
flies
was
around
Nimrod.
is Nimrod.
Yeah. So it's not evil.
So what if she became like an android, like a machine,
Hmm.
and her intelligence and her essence was in it?
Possibly.
And that allowed
wouldn't
her
be
to
bad.
live.
That wouldn't be bad. This would be interesting. What do you got for us, Johnny?
What's
What
happening?
you got
Hickman?
for me, Johnny?
So then we move on to Powers 10, issue 3, where we find who the new horsemen of the apocalypse are. And one of them is Wolverine because, hey, why not? This isn't overpowered enough.
Named Zorn.
Yeah, and Zorn is one of them, and then Cypher, and then like a new creation are the four.
Krakoa.
Yeah,
It's just called Krakoa.
yeah. Okay.
Or that's Cypher. That's Krakoa Cypher.
yeah. And then North was the other one. I think what it was called. Yeah. So those are the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Cardinal and Rasputin are not horsemen. They're just some of the last surviving mutants that are left.
Mm-hmm.
And in this issue, Rasputin is in a fight with the that synth android being that is with Nimrod. I don't remember the name of that character.
That's the one that's, I don't remember her name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but she goes down. The mutants attack
I
this.
think it said in like Powers 1, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably. The mutants attack this church. And while they're attacking the church, Nimrod's not really concerned about it, but she is. She's like, this is not like them. They don't do this.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason for this, and we need to find out what it is. It might be a distraction. It might be something else we need to figure it out.
And Nimrod's over here like, I mean, haven't we wanted the humans gone for a long time?
He's like,
anyways?
yeah,
What the
this
fuck?
just
Who
helps
gives-
us.
Yeah.
Who cares?
gives a shit? Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm going to go check it out. You want to come? He's like, it's really not my concern, so have fun.
Yeah. I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah. So she goes off to to stop it, and then they get in a big fight or whatever, and she like incapacitates Zorn, and then Rasputin goes over to Zorn, and then she reveals that if she takes Zorn's helmet off, it will create a black hole, potentially killing everything. And the bad guy or whatever says something to the effect of to Rasputin of like, won't that kill you too, or are you sure that'll even work? And she goes,
She's probably, no, she's not with Apocalypse. Never mind. Go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
yeah. She's like, are you sure that'll even work or whatever? And then Rasputin's like, let's find out. Takes his head
Boom.
off and creates a black hole.
Yeah, so
Which
to
I
us,
assume
all
kills
three
them.
are dead.
Yeah.
Black Surfer. Silver Surfer's not here to save the day again.
Yeah, he's
he's
not
a little
there.
bit wrapped up. He's got some things going on.
He's not around to be pulling people out of black holes anymore. He's kind of
Yeah.
in one right now
Yeah,
already.
he did that already with the Guardians. He's like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I'm weak.
He's taking his black hole break. So we assume that kills them all. And through that, Nimrod is able to figure out there's like a warning that a place is being broken into, and then he realizes, oh, she was right. That was a distraction. So he goes there to see what's going on, and he confronts Apocalypse. And him and Apocalypse have this awesome battle. It's really fucking cool. And
There's multiple Nimrods too.
yeah, Nimrod copies himself and shit. It's fucking crazy. And it leads you to believe the closing line of it is Nimrod, his hands are on Apocalypse's head, and it's like this electricity deal is emanating from his hands, and Apocalypse looks like he's terrified.
He's
and
kind of
in
like
pain.
boosting up Apocalypse while he's fighting him, like telling him all the titles that he said, like,
Yeah.
oh, the first mutant, the immortal, the god, like blah blah blah, like so strong, and then
And then he says something along the lines of, how does it feel to know that the survival of the fittest has brought you here? And he's got his hands on him, and we're assuming he kills him in that moment. And then we see Wolverine has this information now, like Apocalypse succeeded in his mission, and Wolverine has this data spike.
looks like a crystal. Almost.
This data crystal of information.
Made it away so that this way they can communicate through you, Moira.
Yeah.
Being Moira.
Yeah, and he goes to this area where Mother is, and it is revealed that Mother is Mora 10, as she is called. And she's in this weird stasis lock, and he awakes her and then stabs her. He stabs her with his data crystal, which
No, he's
awakes
like,
her. Yeah.
puts it into the some sort of device that Apocalypse
That's
created
right, yeah.
and absorbs all the information, and so she has it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it awakes her and shit like that. And they had this nice little interaction, I guess, where Wolverine is it all rests on you now. If you fail, we're fucking done. We're dead. And she goes, it's fine. It'll work. And he's like, I'm sorry. And then she says, it's okay. This is
No, that was 9.
Well, yes, her ninth life.
That was
yeah,
her
yeah.
ninth life.
He was like, And then he says, "I'm sorry," and she goes, "It's all right. This is what you're meant for." And then he stabs her and kills her.
Jeez, yeah.
And thus
Very
ends-
good scene too.
It was
I mean,
awesome.
it was like
dude.
silhouette black with like the light shining in between the blood and
Yeah,
that
look,
was really good.
fucking art was fantastic for
Yeah,
that.
put it up on the screen.
And that ends Marva's 9th life, and that is when we fully are aware and are told and I guess realize that year 100 has been Marva's 9th life the whole time.
And that was the apocalypse timeline.
That was the apocalypse timeline that they showed us a glimpse of that I wanted this whole time, and they actually
And they
expanded on
actually
it, and we
did
got it.
Yeah,
We got to see what happened in the apocalypse timeline, which is fucking dope.
I want a little bit more, but
Yeah, same. I would like a little more expansion on it. I'd
could
like
have
to
done a
know.
little mini
I'd like to know more about Rasputin and Cardinal because
Yeah,
those are pretty dope
exactly.
characters.
Omega.
Yeah.
Fake Omegas, but Omega.
Well, yeah, fake Omegas, but Omegas nonetheless, like products of Omegas.
Faux Omegas.
Full Omegas. Yeah, I'm super enjoying this series. If you're a fan of comics, you should definitely be
You
fucking
like
reading
X-Men?
this. Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Little
This
bit.
is news to me.
I think Jonathan Hickman is writing one of the most complex series out right now with this. There's
It's
a
tough
lot
to
that
do
goes
what he's
into
doing
it.
right now.
Yeah. If you're not very familiar with a lot of X-Men knowledge, I could see this being kind of confusing. But for the large part, I think it's written in a way that even people that aren't familiar can come in and have some understanding.
Yeah, and I have no way of confirming this, but they have to be like writing Power 10 first and then just giving us House first.
I would think
Because
so.
that has to be so hard. You're writing
Yeah.
all this stuff, and then I'm like, go back. Oh shit, make sure these points hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got. I mean, they could be. I'm clearly not in the room with them. but
Right.
Fuck me.
However, Hickman's doing it. He's doing
That's
a great
tough.
job.
That's tough. Yeah.
And the art is fantastic for these series, too.
Mhm.
It's been largely very good, but for Powers 3, it was fucking
Yeah.
incredible.
Very strong.
It was excellent.
Very detailed.
Mhm.
Very intricate. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, I
a
really
lot.
liked it.
Man.
I really like how Zorn looks, too. It's a cool design.
Yeah.
It's like a blue
yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
what I was thinking. I was like, it's not as too much. It's not as edgy. It's not as Jeff Knight. You know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Not edgy enough for me, boy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's the line. If Septic doesn't like it, it's not. It's not good. It's not gonna make
It's
it.
not worth your time.
It's not metal.
It's not metal. Oh, man.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, he's okay, I guess.
Hashtag fuck Jeff.
It's like fuck Jeff for sure all day.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So yeah, definitely check these out if you're a fan of comics. If you're not, check them out anyway, because you should be, because they're incredible. If you haven't seen all the posters and videos that from D3 that came out, or D23, you should definitely look it up, because that is some very exciting shit.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for all the news and stuff that's about to be coming out. Some new games, bunch of new series going forward with all that we're reading.
Oh
Man.
my god, dude. Oh, Control, the new game for like Xbox
Playing
and
that
PlayStation,
tonight.
comes out tonight. So we're gonna talk about that next week on our next episode. We'll talk about how to
For sure.
experience
We
with
should be able
Control.
to have some hands-on time with
Yeah, I'm playing that shit tonight for sure.
it. I'm not really interested. It looks stupid.
Oh shit! August 30th, from Mobile Ultimate Alliance, 4 new costumes come out that are free.
Nice.
I can't remember who they were.
Also, Seven Deadly Sins season 4 drops, so that's what's up.
No idea what that is. Very
That's
cool.
cool, man. Shout out to my anime fans out there. We're excited for that season 4, Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be a good one.
that's something you're current on.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Season 3 was amazing. Liked the show at season 1. 2 was basically, it was like 6 episodes, so it's like, okay, whatever. Then season 3 made me love the show. I liked it. Was like, I'll keep up with it. And then I watched season 3 and was like, I love this show.
Doesn't sound like you were very into
It's
it.
amazing, dude. It picked up so well. They introduced a character named Escanor, and he's straight gangster, dude. Straight gangster.
I don't think so.
You have no idea because you're a punk.
I've watched it actually.
Yeah. Oh,
I've
you
seen all
watched
3
it. You acted
seasons
confused
5
when I said,
times.
oh, okay. 5-time watcher.
I'm trying to make you feel good.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep me engaged. I appreciate that.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us today. So we definitely appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. I do. Josh doesn't. He hates
Seriously,
all
I appreciate all the upvotes and all the comments on our Facebook live feed. It's great seeing you guys out here, participating, getting it in here. Let's read a couple comments. Pure Aqua, purified. Oh, that's my bottle of water. Okay, that is not. We are not live.
No
I just
sponsor.
realized. Just no sponsor. No sponsor. Pops Heroes. I'm just reading things off the deck. Are we closing this? Because I'll just keep.
We're closing out,
Loki
bro.
statue.
We're closing
recorder. Mics.
Thanks for listening. Make sure to check out our episode on Friday and tell all your friends about us. We're the best podcast in the world. Subscribe to us. Give us those 5-star reviews. Our show is amazing, and you know it. Tell everyone about us, especially your parents, because they want to listen to us.
Yeah, dude, and ladies, gents, comment, subscribe, comment, then unsubscribe, so then we can't see your comment. Love that. That's great. That's always fun. Make sure you do that. All right, see you guys.